What's up guys, it's Saray Karen. Welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about my iPhone XS Max and what I think about it after 2 weeks. Now I decided that I would do 2 weeks instead of 1 week just to give me some time to get acclimated to the phone and for me to really get a good formed opinion, because if you ask me what I thought about my iPhone XS Max in the first week, I would say the battery life sucked. And that is the first thing that I'm going to talk about, is the battery life. Now with Apple, they make it kind of hard to go and find out, what is the milliamp hours on their phones. So I did some digging and I did find out that this phone does have a 3100 milliamp battery. So I mean, it is bigger than the iPhone X, and I feel like the things that I was doing in the first week and making my battery drain faster is not happening with me in this second week. So mainly I was kind of just leaving my leaving apps open if I'm in the bathroom, or if I'm doing something in the kitchen, or if I'm at work and I leave my phone somewhere, I would just like leave videos playing on YouTube. And YouTube was one of the main culprits of me draining my battery fast. Another thing that I do that I always tell people not to do is leaving my screen brightness completely up and never dimming it, and everyone knows that that is pretty harsh on the battery life as well. So talking about my opinion for the second week of having this phone, and I really love it. Now one thing that I did have to get used to is texting with the phone, because the iPhone XS Max is much bigger obviously than the phone that I had previously, the iPhone X. Now I do have to go and do like my two finger texting before, like I did with my iPhone 7, and I know a lot of people are probably like, that's not a big deal, but going from iPhone X to iPhone XS Max, you do have to get used to how big the phone is. Like I feel like I have like bigger hands for a girl, or I don't know, maybe this is normal size, but it is a little difficult. Like the reachability, I know I can turn that feature on in the settings if I wanted to, but I just got so used to not having reachability on that I don't want to turn it on again. So that's just one thing that I had to get used to, but I love the size of the phone. If you guys watched my last iPhone X unboxing video, you can remember me saying that the iPhone 7 Plus was my favorite phone just for the battery life and the size of the phone. And I feel like the iPhone XS Max is everything that someone that wanted a big phone but also wanted a full screen can dream for. I feel like it's such a good phone, and you get used to how big it is. So that's it for the battery. Well, actually another thing, this kind of rolls on into the software. So I kind of feel like a lot of people don't really talk about the software when they are talking about the iPhone, and I feel like iOS 12 is really good software. Everyone gets so encaptured by the camera and the size of the phone and the screen and all of that kind of stuff. I really like the software. Now I was on the iOS 12 beta, and the beta was, of course it was a beta, it was clunky, it would have bugs, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Now with the finished version of the software, it is really nice. My favorite thing about the phone is screen time. The thing about the software is screen time. I really like that Apple built it in their software, that it kind of gives you more control over what you're doing. So if I look at my phone right now, and like I was talking about my battery before, I can see that Instagram is my most used, 37 minutes, messages, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Safari, and Google. And then if I click on each one of those apps, it's gonna go into a further breakdown of when I'm usually using that app, around what time, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is kind of weird. And daily average is 6 minutes, so that's really not bad. And then you also can add a limit. So adding limits, if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do know this, but for those of you guys that don't know, you can go in your phone if you are running iOS 12 and set limits on when you can use specific apps. I feel like this is a really good feature for parents if you don't really want your kid using an app all day or at school or something like that. You can set a limit. I haven't set any limits on my phone because, I'm not a teen and I can, monitor myself. So I just feel like that's not necessary for me, but it is one of the features that I do like in iOS 12. And it even breaks it down further. You can see how many times you picked up your phone, which I know that's like a super bad habit. People just checking their phone when, you don't have any notifications, or you don't really need to be checking your phone. But it does show you, like I have 11 pickups per hour. I wonder what the average is, or, what is like over average, above average, or below average. So I have 11 per hour, which I don't think that's that bad compared to some of my friends. I see them check their phones about, I don't know, like like 1,000 times a day, and that is not an exaggeration. So that's something that I really like as well, is the software. I feel like Apple really did a good job with the software. And rolling into the camera, another thing that I really like about the phone that, I mean, it's not something that I use all the time. I know there are people that, different, you know, tech YouTubers and stuff. If you guys want to check out a video, a vlog shot just with the iPhone XS Max and showing you how good the camera is, I would definitely suggest watching iJustine's video. I will link it down in the description. But yeah, I feel like the camera on the phone is super good with that smart HDR that they talked about in the keynote, how the phone will take, it'll take about 4 or 5 pictures of, it'll take 4 or 5 separate pictures and it will merge them together so that you get the most perfect shot. So I feel like that's something that's really cool, and that's all again rolled into the software of the phone. So I don't take a lot of pictures with my phone. I will put some pictures up on the screen here, mainly of my dog and what else, like juices that I get from this place that I shop at, Clean Juice, not sponsored. So yeah, those are mainly type of pictures that I take. So that's why I'm not really going into, you know, the camera of it. I mean, Apple does a really good job at using their technology to make a really good camera. And I'm going to touch lightly on this subject. If any of you guys do have the iPhone 10 or the iPhone XS Max and you notice the whole beauty gate, or you've heard about beauty gate, or you read about beauty gate, let me give you a quick synopsis. What it really is that the iPhone front-facing camera is kind of I wouldn't say distorting, but it's kind of softening blemishes, and it is making you look a little better than like the actual picture would, which is, you know, it's kind of weird for Apple. Normally people really like iPhone cameras just because they really show as is, and they take like real life photos, so without any of that filtering naturally coming from the camera. So that was Beautygate. Another thing I will touch on, if any of you guys heard about it, is ChargeGate, and I will show you as well that I really don't care about ChargeGate, and I really didn't make a video about ChargeGate just because it's not something that I've been experiencing, and it's only a small percentage of the phones that are produced that are experiencing ChargeGate. What ChargeGate is if you plug in your phone and your phone is asleep, it is not charging. So you will have to tap your screen to like wake it up, and then your phone will start charging. Now that is problematic for people who are charging their phone overnight, and then the next day you work or the next day you're traveling and you wake up and your phone is not charged. So that is something that those people would be concerned about. But I feel like it's a really quick fix. I feel like most likely that can be fixed with software, or normally you have a 14-day return policy with Apple, or, you know, if you buy your phone from a carrier. So that's something that, you know, if you're experiencing that, you can go and exchange it or return it, and it can be fixed with that. So that's why I'm not really making a video separately about ChargeGate, because it's not something I've been experiencing. I plug my phone in. If it is asleep, I don't have to tap it to wake it up. It's just charging. So that's something that, you know, I tapped on a little bit just because I know there are people experiencing it, and I know that there are a lot of rumors going around about the different gates, Beautygate, ChargeGate, all that kind of stuff. So it's not something I've been experiencing. And aside from that, what did I go over? Software, I went over the camera, I went over my battery life. I really feel like that is kind of it. Like, my impression after 2 weeks of having the phone is pretty positive. Like I said in the beginning, I really was concerned about my battery life, but that was all on me. I had to go and, like, you know, tweak some things, stop, you know, having my phone at max capacity brightness, and then stop leaving videos running while I'm doing, you know, everyday life things, which is kind of Sorry, like user error. Don't leave your phone playing YouTube videos if you're not watching it. It's going to drain your battery. So right now my battery, oh man, I didn't even turn on my battery percentage. That's crazy. But right now my battery is about, if you guys can see, can you see that? Focus. I think my battery is about half, and I did not charge it last night, just for the sake of this video, to show you guys. Like, I use my phone pretty, you know, I feel like pretty average, and my battery is still, you know, it's it is at half capacity, which is perfectly fine for me, and it's only, what, 225 when I'm shooting this video, so I feel like that's pretty good. So far, My impression of the phone, like I said, pretty positive. I really like the software. I really like the camera when I am pulling it out to take pictures of my dog. Like I said as well, if you guys want to see a video shot, a vlog shot completely on the iPhone XS Max, I will link Justine's video down below because I feel like it is a really good video and the camera is bomb. That's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you guys are on the fence about the phone, it is expensive. My phone, I got the iPhone XS Max, what is it, 256 gigs, which was kind of a mistake because I'm only using about 30 gigs of storage right now. I could have opted for the 64, but this phone is what, $1,250, I believe. Yeah, I believe my phone was like $1,200 or something. That is expensive for a phone. I would definitely suggest, if you guys don't want to spend that much on a phone, wait for the iPhone XR to come out, I believe later this month. And definitely I will be doing a review on that. If you guys, you know, want me to do that, I will do it. So that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know your thoughts if you have the phone, if you have the iPhone XS or the iPhone XS Max. How do you like it? What is your favorite feature? If you guys are nerdy like me and you do delve into the software, what is your favorite feature about the software? I love to hear about it. And that is it for the video, guys.